Hey Mark, welcome back to Single Car Garage. Let's see what we're working on. Well, we're looking at it and working on it. Voila! Now I'll show you what I've got done so far. Got the rag joint hooked up, and let me show you the problems we had with the rag joint. This is one they sent, and of course it's one size too small for the shaft. Luckily, I had this one on the shelf over there. So brought it over here and used it, and I don't think there'll be any problems because they're all identical. So that's what it took to get that hooked up. Now this is a collapsible shaft, so we had to cut this, and I probably cut it a little longer than it needs to be. I've got it somewhere around in here. Usually you'll cut it up into here. That gives that steering wheel plenty of room to collapse if it ever has to. But installed this outer shaft and cut this and installed it. There's how much we cut off. Then we installed our universal up here. Make sure these are tight and you're locked down. You definitely don't want them to slip out. So this has got a flat spot up here for this to set in, and this just sets on the steel, but make sure they're tight. And to be honest with you, I would use Loctite on them. You definitely don't want them to fall off. So like I said, with the kit they sent, this collar didn't work, switched it out. We got all that hooked up, a rod cut, everything hooked up. So the outside is done. Now we're on the inside. We're working on the steering column. Unfortunately, even though this says, it does say select. It says steering column uh, 69 to 72. This is 68, so it don't work. So I've got the column in, not secured the properly way. I've got to go the proper way. I've got to go to the junkyard and get a couple parts for under here. That's what we're missing. But I've got it in there so we could get everything where it needs to be. So all I have to do is tighten that up. So we're working on installing the steering wheel, and man, I've never seen anything like this, but I guess this adapter is made for a few different types of steering wheels. Of course, they didn't order any horn guts, and this thing came with no instructions, so if I had them, I probably wouldn't know how to put them in. All right, we got everything screwed in. This is the power. Oh, sorry. Show where it goes. On the back of that. And your blue one is the, again, is the light. So we'll need to plug them up. All right, well, we've got the steering wheel on, but we've got to wait to get a screw for the switch before we put the nut on there. And we've got all the stuff under the hood hooked up. And we got the cigarette lighter hooked up. So still got to hook up all the wiring, but we've got to do this dash because it does not have factory wiring. So we've got to rewire it. And I'm waiting on my daughter to do that. So that's where we're at, and kind of wrapping it up here on the Chevy today. There we are. And there we are on the column. Everything hooked up and ready to go. All right, well, the next steps on this, like I told the guy that owns it, it's either we put the bed on and everything that goes on the bed, or we install the engine and transmission. So that's where we're at. That's the information I gave him, and then we'll see what he decides to do. But really can't finish the wiring until we put everything under the engine compartment, that we know everything's got the right hookup, because you get multiple hookups in this system here, and or wiring connections, if you want to call them that. So, but and just keep doing details to it. So that's where we're at, and that's a wrap for today on what we did on this old 68. Appreciate you stopping by. Come back and see me, and hey man, gotta go. There's the new glove compartment with the lighter, keys in. Still got wiring to do. A lot of that wiring goes to these gauges. We haven't wired them yet, waiting to put the engine in, which we're getting ready to do. So there was the interior work we were doing. Got the stern wheel on there, which is a really good looking stern wheel. Got to figure out how to adjust this. I don't know. We certainly don't want it sticking out, and it's in the right place, but it's going to have to be adjusted backwards to make it look good. Got the kick panels on. Looking good. Hey, that's it on the truck, and a few updates there. And hey, thanks for stopping by. Come back and see me sometime. See you later.